Everyone, Richard Robbins here, helping you build a highly productive business that you love. Here's what I want to talk to you about today. How do we find listings when there's low inventory and you're working with a buyer that's dying to buy a house? Now, if you're in some of the busier markets in Canada or many of the busier markets in the US, right now many of them are dealing with low inventory and sometimes, or I should say many times, multiple offers. Well, let me say this. Waiting for listings to come on the MLS is probably not the best strategy because guess what everybody else is doing? That. What we've got to do is, anytime there's a challenge in a market, we got to figure out a better way than what everybody else is doing. We got to figure out how can we deliver the unexpected to those buyers we're working with. Well, let me give you 5 quick solutions. Well, here's the first one. Why not start blogging? It's like crowdsourcing, if you will. So you could start to create a blog and you could put this blog on your website. You can send this blog out to everybody in your database. But start blogging and say, I am looking for this type of specific home, but here's how to make this effective. You must be very specific in what it is you're looking for and share information about the buyer. Because let's face it, a lot of people are going, oh, this is some sales tactic those agents are using. They don't really have a buyer for a house. So what I'm suggesting is maybe include the picture of the buyers, include their family, maybe even their names to some degree, whatever they're comfortable with, so that people can see this is a real deal. You really have somebody that is interested in buying a particular type of home, and be specific in what you want. If you just say, oh, we're looking for a house in the neighborhood, well, you got 2 stories in the neighborhood. You might have ranch bungalows in the neighborhood, right? And all of a sudden they're going, well, what are you really looking for? So get specific in your blog. Number 2 is this. Post on all social media channels. So now we've got this, amazing opportunity where we can push out all of this information, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. So do exactly the same thing. Maybe post your blog there, but get very specific. Who are the buyers? What are they looking for, okay, and how they can get a hold of you. My third idea is this. Why not create a really cool e-flyer? So you create an e-flyer, and of course when you create this e-flyer, you're going to send it out to 2 groups of people. You're going to send it out to people that are in your database, okay, and you're going to send it out to all of the other realtors who might have some pocket listings that are what you're looking for, which means now you might be able to do a deal. Now let's face it, it's better if you can do it yourself because then you double in the property, but what can the other agents do to help you find that particular home, which would be a good thing. And then the next one, and I love this one. Somebody mentioned this to me, it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I thought it was a good idea. Why not do this? Why not go back in your calendar, and why not look at, say, all of the people that you've met with, all the people that came to your open houses, all the people you've priced a house, any lead that might have called in and left you their email or maybe left you their telephone, and start phoning everybody you know back. And say, listen, I got a very specific buyer. I'm looking for a house for, Mary and John. And they're looking for a 3-bedroom ranch bungalow, on a lot that sort of looks like this. Do you happen to know of anybody that would be interested in selling a house like that? Well, no, we don't. Well, listen, could I just send you maybe my e-flyer and let you know what it is I'm looking for? And if you come across anybody at all, I'd really appreciate if you'd give me a call. So now you got all these people trying to help you, okay? And then the last one is this. Obviously, it's an oldie, it's a goodie, and it still works. Prospect. That's right. Start door knocking. But if you're going to start door knocking, I would actually take a flyer, again, with a picture of the buyers possibly, right? And leave it behind for the people that weren't there. And then pick up the phone, start phoning people. Phoning neighborhoods do exactly the same thing, and if you don't get them, I'm not a big believer in leaving messages when you're prospecting on the telephone, but when you're looking for a specific listing for buyers, I am. Start leaving people messages, and again, make sure you're very specific in what you're looking for, and say to them, if your house is not like this, I understand, but if you know anybody else at all, I would love your help. Please give me a call. So what you can do, blog, okay, you can post on all social media sites, e-flyer, okay, you can phone back old appointments for the last 12 to 24 months, and then of course the old-fashioned way, prospect. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. It's a beautiful life. Make it count. Hi everyone, Richard Robbins here, helping you build a great business that you love. Anyway, this is number 2 in our objection handling series. So I mentioned on the very first one, I said my mentor Jim Rohn said we need to magnify our skills, or sometimes we got to modify our